Season 1 begins with Pammi's wrestling fight. Pammi is from the lower castes, and her rival is from the rich upper caste. The tournament judge is the father of the rival wrestler, thus Pammi faces discrimination in fighting results, and she tries her best to raise her voice against the system. And after losing the fight, she cries in front of her brother, saying that we have to face this discrimination our whole life as we belong to a lower caste. The next day, Pammi and her family celebrate her uncle's son's wedding. As they were passing through the streets of the upper caste, they faces strong rejections from the high society people, as it is believed that lower caste people cannot enjoy the ride of a horse. Only rich people can enjoy the privilege of all the good and righteousness of the world. With such mentality, this wealthy people drag down the bridegroom from the horse and fight with this poor people. Pammi's parents rush Pammi's brother Shakti to a nearby hospital to treat him, as he gets injured during this fight. On the other hand, Pammi, along with the bridegroom and her press reporter friends, visit the police station to file an attempt to murder a case against this rich people, where a policeman informs the upper caste people that Pammi is filing an attempt to murder a case against their sons. The upper caste people kidnap all hospital staff along with doctors and lock all of them in one room. They ask Pammi to withdraw the case, or else they will not allow doctors to treat her brother. As Pammi was forced to withdraw her case, just then Bhagwaan Nirala enters the hospital, along with his devotees, and takes away all weapons from the upper caste people, and set free all the doctors. After Shakti regained his consciousness, Bhagwaan Nirala says, "I will always stand by, in favor of needy people." Cut 2. Chief Minister Sundar Lal allots government forest land to a big businessman to set up a factory. When the development of the factory starts, they find a girl's skeleton while digging the foundation for the factory. Even after the local village people protest, the chief minister ordered the police commissioner, in any circumstances work should not stop. Some days back, Bhagwaan Nirala's right hand, Bhupa Swami, had killed this girl. Bhagwaan Nirala is worried about this murder, to which Bhupa consoles him by saying not to worry about these small things. Everything is under control, as the chief minister himself is not willing to stop this work. From this point, the dirty political games start. Previous Chief Minister Ujagar Singh happens to visit the land allotted for the factory and promise people that he will protest against this illegal allotment of land and girl murder. He promises to take this matter to all nearby villages. On the other hand, where Pammi is a devotee and Shakti in search of work, often start to visit Bhagwaan Nirala ashram. After some days, Bhagwaan Nirala suggests Pammi to stay in the ashram and continue her wrestling and studies free of cost. Bhagwaan Nirala informs Shakti that if he wishes to work in the ashram, he needs to marry a call girl, which they have as a devotee. Earlier, Shakti was not ready for this marriage, but after seeing a beautiful girl in front of him in the marriage hall, he agrees to marry her. And as the time passes by, Shakti's wife Babita also starts to like him. Pammi starts to practice wrestling in ashram free of cost. One fine day, Bhagwaan Nirala gets mesmerized by the beauty of Shakti's wife and gets horny. To get Babita on her bed, he promotes Shakti with a high salary and asks him to relocate to a branch office far away in another city. As they are newly married, Shakti wants to take Babita along with him. On hearing this, Bhagwaan Nirala says that it seems that you are not yet ready for moksha, the ultimate divine love for God, and you are getting physically attracted to your wife, and hence you are not in a position to get a promotion. Shakti innocently asks Bhagwaan Nirala to enlighten him about the moksha, the ultimate divine love for God, and help him to receive moksha. The next day, during the moksha ceremony, Shakti takes a milk bath, followed by a holy sweet, mixed with drugs to eat as a ritual. Without his knowledge, after making him unconscious in hospital, castration is done in the name of moksha. The next morning, Shakti cries a lot knowing about his castration, but Bhagwaan Nirala consoles him by saying that even he had done castration when he used to get physically attracted to women in his early days, and now he is pure like God. Shakti feels sorry to hear this, and requests Bhagwaan Nirala to forgive him as he had unfaithful thoughts toward him. Bhagwaan Nirala again consoles him and says, "See how castration has changed his vision. Now you are fully prepared to enter the eternal world of moksha. After knowing about her husband's castration, Babita is worried about their upcoming family and how she is going to get pregnant now. In her anger, she dishonors Baba and claims that this Baba Nirala is a hypocrite, and she brought her from jail and was threatened to send her back to jail if she doesn't marry him. In anger, Shakti slaps her and asks Babita to shut up, as he is not willing to hear any nonsense against Baba. The next morning, Baba Nirala honors Shakti as commander in front of all devotees and asks him to relocate to the assigned city and take charge of a new job. The same night, Babita is called by Baba, and he asks her to eat the sweet. These sweets contain drugs that make people unconscious. Baba Nirala takes advantage of her unconsciousness and rapes her. The next morning, Pammi comes to wake her up, but Babita wakes up in pain. On Pammi inquiry about the pain, she avoids speaking about last night's incident and gives her an excuse that she is feeling low after her brother is gone. Kavita, the other devotee, understands everything. Now Babita plans something and approaches the guard and tells them she herself wishes to meet Baba Nirala personally. In Baba Nirala's bedroom, she asks Baba to bless her again, but this time without sweet laddu, and they passionately enjoy sex that night in full consciousness. The next morning, Baba tells the women devotees supervisor that every devotee should get an opportunity to conduct morning prayers, and appoints Babita to conduct morning prayer from now on. On the other hand, after the recovery of the girl's skeleton, the police department gets orders from higher authorities to suppress the case. To do this job, Inspector Ujagar and his junior, Sadhu Sharma, gets appointed. They make sure that the media and the press are not involved in this murder case investigation. The next day, Inspector Ujagar Singh goes to collect the post-mortem report from Dr. Natasha, and she refuses to generate a fake report, and she stays firm by her words. Inspector gets attracted to her beauty and honesty, and promises her that now he will personally investigate this case and will make sure the culprit is sent behind the bars. Inspector Ujagar Singh, with the help of his press reporter friend, Aki, broadcast a tape on TV related to this girl's murder. A girl named Sohini approaches Ujagar Singh, and after a DNA test, it is confirmed that this girl Sohini is the elder sister of the dead girl named Mohini. After some initial investigation, Inspector Ujagar Singh comes to a conclusion that the dead girl Mohini had some connection with Baba Nirala Ashram. The higher authorities shout at Inspector Ujagar Singh because he was appointed to suppress this case and not to investigate more on Ashram or Baba Nirala. Bhupa, the right hand of Baba, tries to kill Sohini, the elder sister of the dead girl Mohini. After being saved by reporter Aki and Inspector Ujagar Singh, Sohini hides at Aki's mother's place. Inspector Ujagar Singh and Dr. Natasha make love that night, and the next morning they plan to investigate this case secretly. As per plan, Inspector Ujagar and his junior Sadhu Sharma gets admitted to Ashram Drug Recovery Hospital, and there they make friendship with one of the supervisor named Malanpai. Later that night, Malanpai takes them to some quiet place to enjoy drugs, and after some heavy drugs, Malanpai reveals that, before Baba Nirala, Baba Mansuk was the highest authority of this ashram, but he dramatically disappeared as he got involved with some girl in the ashram. In the secret room, somehow ashram people find Sohani hideout place, and they kill her, and Aki's mother dies too, due to cardiac arrest. Aki works as an electrician in the ashram to take revenge for her mother's death. In the ashram, Kavita reveals that previous Baba Manchuk had some connection with Mohini, and she got missing just after Baba Nirala takes over the ashram. One night when Inspector Ujagar and Supervisor Malanpai were enjoying drugs, Ujagar noticed a secret door in the basement. He somehow manages to make the security guard unconscious and enters the secret room. At that same time, security personnel notice the unconscious security guard and to check out enters the room. The security personnel gets killed by Ujagar and Aki in the basement. Ujagar finds a vault full of documents and takes pictures. After carefully studying all papers, it is known that a person named Ishwarnath is the actual owner of all ashram properties, and Ishwarnath was against Baba Nirala. Ujagar Singh in good faith hand over this document to his childhood friend, but he betrays him and hand over all documents to the chief minister, and in return, he gets a transfer that was pending for quite a long time. On the other side, Pammi is busy with her wrestling practices and invites Baba Nirala to watch her competition. Pammi wins this competition. On public demand, Baba Nirala conduct a friendly fight with Pammi, as he himself was a known wrestler in the early days. While wrestling, Baba gets attracted to Pammi and again gets horny. The same night, Baba asks one of her female devotee to add a drug to Pammi's food. After she is unconscious, Baba rape her. Pammi understands that something wrong has been done to her. She approaches Babita and narrates everything to her, saying somebody has raped her but she is not sure who did this to her. The next morning, Pammi complains about last night incident to Baba, to which Baba Nirala confirms that he will ask Bhupa to look into this matter, and requests Pammi not to speak about this to anyone, as this will harm the prestige of the ashram. To calm her down, Baba asks Pammi to accompany him for the evening prayer. While returning back, he again offers Laddu to her and rapes her again that night. Poor Pammi is still not able to understand who is committing this sin to her. Kavita gets concerned about her and tries to speak the truth to her, but Pammi doesn't believe in her words. Kavita asks Pammi to believe her once and not to eat the sweet dish. The next day, Pammi avoids eating the sweet dish and pretends to stay unconscious. Baba's men take her to Baba's bedroom. Just before Baba was about to rape her, she opens her eyes and screams at him, and try to run away from the ashram. But unfortunately, Bhupa's men manage to catch her and put her in ashram basement jail. Niki, who is working in the ashram as a fake electrician, get to know about Pammi's arrest, and tries to alert Pammi's parents. The next morning, Pammi's father set out to meet Pammi in the ashram. But on the way, he meets with an accident, framed by ashram people. Ashram people admit him into the ashram hospital and blackmail Pammi. If she tries to run or reveal anything about the ashram to the police or anybody, they will kill all her family members. Pammi was able to meet her parents on the request made by Babita to Bhupa. Baba Nirala also visits the hospital to see Pammi's father. Pammi understands that this is not the right time to take revenge, as all her family members are influenced by Baba Nirala. Same night, Pammi questions Babita why she was quiet for all these days. On this, Babita reveals everything to her and informs her how this hypocrite Baba Nirala has done castration of her husband in the name of moksha. Ashram hospital no longer gonna bear the cost of heavy injections given to Pammi's father. As a result, he will never be able to recover. Aki informs Pammi about this. Pammi makes a plan to kill Baba Nirala, and as per her plan, she informed Baba that only 3 months are left for her state final wrestling tournament, and before she goes for her tournament, she is willing to take his last blessing. Baba asks her to come tonight for a blessing. Pammi informs Aki to wait at the secret door. As planned, after killing Baba tonight, Pammi and Aki will run away from the ashram. But unfortunately, Aki is stopped in between and not allowed to go further. This terminates their plan. Late that night, Baba's 2 men enter the girls' hostel to take Pammi. But Pammi kills both man and the hostel warden, and with a guilty heart she kills her father too, as he was not going to get well for his whole life. Somehow she runs away from the ashram and calls her brother and narrates to him everything about Baba Nirala, and advises her to run away from there before Bhupa comes. But unfortunately, Bhupa captures him and beats him a lot, and finally kills him. On the other side, a few members of the opponent party of Hukum Singh betray him and join Chief Minister Party. Hukum Singh manager advised him to contact Baba Nirala if he wants to win the upcoming election. Ashram holds more than 45 lakhs devotees and it is the biggest voter bank. Hukum Singh makes no delay in putting this into action. He meets Baba Nirala and offers him huge money in return for the ashram followers' vote. To expand the ashram's strength, Baba Nirala urges Bhupa to involve youth in the ashram, which is a tough task, as per Bhupa, and they find out a way to do so. The next day, Bhupa Singh meets the manager of youth icon pop singer, Tinka Singh. Tinka Singh, under drug influence, souths on his manager and says that he don't believe in this hypocrite Baba and asks Bhupa to leave the room. Bhupa Singh leaves the room, but the very next day government narcotic department raid the hotel and arrest Tinka Singh in a drug case and tortures him in jail. Baba Nirala comes to his rescue and hands over his release paper to the government officials. The next morning, Tinka Singh with his full band visit the ashram and praised Baba Nirala in front of press reporters and declare that from now on he will sing only Baba Nirala worship songs. He will also help the ashram to attract youth and will conduct special concerts for Baba Nirala. Nationwide, the concerts are held and many youth start to join the ashram under the influence of drugs mixed lattice. The opposition party leader Hukum Singh rejoices as the youth crowd joins the ashram as devotees. But the current chief minister Sundarlal is upset with this new development, and he too meets Baba Nirala and offers him a double amount for the ashram vote bank. Baba plays a double game here and invites the chief minister to Tinka Singh concert. Watching this, Hukum Singh visit Baba's ashram and inquiry what type of game he is up to. Baba Nirala assures him not to worry about anything and have faith, as there is no change in our plan and we will only support him. As the election approaches, Chief Minister avoids allocating election ticks to Dilawar Singh and his supporters. Giving clarification to Dilawar Singh, he says, "How can he trust a person who is not faithful to his previous party?" Knowing this, Dilawar Singh realizes that he has done a mistake joining his party and approaches Baba Nirala and requests his favor for him and others. Baba asks Hukum Singh to forgive Dilawar Singh and requests him to let him join the party again. Baba Nirala cancels the chief minister's appearance at one of the Tinka Singh concerts as there was some delay in money from him. Angry chief minister passes a vigilance raid on the ashram and Baba Nirala is placed under house arrest. Minister calls Baba and asks him not to act smart with him, as he have all evidence against him, and if he doesn't support him, he will be forced behind the bars. Baba Nirala immediately corrects his mistake and invites the chief minister in Tinka Singh's concert, and announces that from now on we will fully support you on all social platforms. A night before the election, Baba informs all his devotees to vote for Hukum Singh only. The next day the election result comes in favor of Hukum Singh, and he is declared as chief minister of the state. In the morning, Hukum Singh visits ashram and asks for the blessing, and hands over the list of members to Baba, requesting him to appoint all cabinet ministers as per his wish, as he is totally under his blessing now and will run the government under his guidance. The next morning, Hukum Singh takes oath as the chief minister of state. Please like, share and subscribe our channel.